The last thing Elena Hayes expected when her car sputtered to its final breath on a deserted country road was to end up on a ranch owned by the most intimidating man she had ever met. The storm clouds had rolled in fast, swallowing the sky whole, and by the time she slammed her useless car door shut, thunder was cracking like bones in the dark. She wrapped her arms around herself and started walking toward the faint glow of lights in the distance, each step sinking into mud that tried to pull her shoes off. She was shivering, soaked, and exhausted when she finally reached the fence line of the sprawling Cutter Ranch. She pushed open the gate, praying someone, anyone, would answer the bell. But before she could even touch it, a deep voice cut through the wind. "You're trespassing." Her breath caught as she spun around, heart racing. A tall figure stepped out of the shadows, rain dripping from the brim of his hat, broad shoulders rising like a wall against the storm. Luke Cutter. The name hit her like a jolt. She had heard it whispered in town: rancher, recluse, trouble. His eyes were darker than the night behind him, sharp enough to slice through her excuses before she even spoke. She swallowed hard. "My car died. I just needed help." Luke didn't move, didn't blink. His jaw flexed once, a muscle ticking. The silence stretched uncomfortably until he finally walked toward her, boots splashing through puddles. He stopped inches away, invading her space so completely she forgot the rain, the cold, even the storm itself. "You should have stayed in the car," he said quietly, almost like a warning. She forced herself to meet his gaze. Lightning was hitting the road. "I was scared." For a moment, something flickered in his eyes, concern, maybe, but it vanished as fast as it came. "People around here don't walk onto my land without permission," he drawled. "They especially don't do it at night." Elena bristled, hugging her soaked jacket tighter. "Well, sorry to disappoint you, but I'm not people around here. I just needed a phone." His lips twitched with something that wasn't quite a smile. "I can give you a phone," he murmured, stepping even closer, "but you're gonna listen to me if you're staying on my ranch." The words hit her like a challenge, firm and unapologetic. Thunder growled overhead as the wind whipped her hair across her face. She felt her pulse hammering in her neck, a confusing blend of fear and defiance rising in her chest. She didn't know this man, didn't trust him, and yet, it felt impossible to look away. "Fine," she whispered. "I'll listen." Luke studied her another long moment, then tipped his hat back and nodded once. "Good. Come on." He turned, leading her toward the ranch house. As she followed him through the storm, she couldn't shake the feeling that stepping onto this land had just changed everything, and that Luke Cutter was the kind of man who broke every rule she believed about men, including the ones she lived by. The porch creaked under their boots as Luke opened the door, and warmth hit Elena like a wave, along with the smell of wood smoke and something faintly sweet, like fresh bread. She exhaled, shivering less, but the intensity of his gaze never wavered. He didn't offer her a chair, didn't even close the door behind her properly. Instead, he just stood there, silent, waiting for her next move. I can sit," she stammered, trying to find her voice. He raised an eyebrow, one that could cut through stone. "I said you'll listen. Not talk." She froze, realizing that she had crossed an invisible line he hadn't told her about yet. This wasn't just a man used to giving orders, he was a man who expected them to be obeyed. Elena swallowed hard, tension coiling tight in her chest. "Yes, sir," she muttered, the words tasting foreign and humiliating, yet thrilling in a way she didn't expect. Luke nodded once, satisfied, then walked past her into the kitchen. She hesitated, glancing around, noticing the rustic elegance of the ranch house, sturdy furniture, walls lined with photographs of horses and wide-open fields, and every corner radiating quiet control. This place wasn't just his home, it was an extension of him, commanding, unyielding, impossible to ignore. He returned moments later, holding a steaming mug of coffee, and without offering it to her, he set it on the counter and stood in front of her again. "Drink it," he ordered. She took the cup, fumbling, her fingers brushing against his rough, warm hand. A shock ran through her, a warning she couldn't define. Luke didn't flinch, didn't react, he simply watched her, unreadable, and the air between them thickened. "You're lucky I found you," he said finally, voice low and measured. "Storms like this don't forgive mistakes. People die out there." His words hit her harder than the cold rain ever could. She hadn't realized how close she had come to losing control of her life, or how easily she had underestimated the land, and the man, standing in front of her. Thank you," she whispered, her pride pricked by the submissiveness she felt but couldn't deny. Luke's gaze softened slightly, almost imperceptibly, but it vanished as quickly as it came. He turned abruptly, walking toward the stairs. "You'll stay the night. Then tomorrow, you leave. Understood?" Elena nodded, a strange mix of relief and disappointment twisting inside her. Something about Luke Cutter made her uneasy, but even more, it made her aware of herself in ways she hadn't felt in years. She had entered his world unprepared, and now, standing there, soaked and shivering but alive, she realized that everything had changed. Not just her immediate danger, but something deeper, the kind of power a man like Luke wielded over a room, over the land, and perhaps over her heart, whether she wanted it or not. The storm raged outside, but inside, a different kind of storm had just begun, a storm that neither of them could ignore, and that neither of them were ready to calm.